I was born in 1951. Oh, wow. That was, well, I don't remember because when you're a baby, you don't really remember those things. But, we had just gotten through World War II. U.S. was booming. We were involved with the Korean War. I knew a little bit about, my first memories of political life was the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's when I became aware of the world. My favorite pastime, well, besides music, I love to cook and I love to eat. Probably eating even more than cooking. I've had some very scary things happen to me. I almost got run over in London a couple of years ago. I had a bad car accident once. Those things really scared me because I almost lost my life. Aside from that, not much scares me. I'm a pretty courageous guy. I've had a lot of happy moments in my life. Probably when our daughter was born was a moment of true ecstasy. To see another human come into the world is an incomparable experience. My favorite performer, for sure, was Rostropovich, the great Russian cellist. Musician, when I go to heaven, I hope I could meet Beethoven. Of all the composers, Beethoven is the one who continually fascinates and inspires me probably the most. I have a very good contacts list. I have some heads of corporations. I have great musicians. I don't know how famous they are, but I do pride myself on my contacts list, and it certainly has grown as I have. If I had to invent a motto for myself, it would be basically don't wait, just do it. I don't like to waste time. I find that as I get older, I waste less and less time. I'm a great multitasker, and I figure out ways of doing many things at the same time, some of them which are improbable but work. I had a good answer for this the other day. Just let me think a second. I wish that I had invented the sound post inside the violin, that you can lengthen it and shorten it by just turning a little gear, because I always thought that was the coolest idea in the world, and lo and behold, some guy in Germany has done this, and the most exciting thing in my cello life right now is that I just had one of these put in, and it's great. It's a genius invention, and I wish I'd thought of it. If I'm privileged enough to have many, many lives, there's so many things I want to do. I would love to be a visual artist. I would love to be a photographer. I would love to be an architect. I would love to be an airline pilot. Shall I go on? When I wake up in the morning, it's something of my most fertile mind time. I plan things. I can lie in bed easily for an hour and think up new fingerings for cello pieces, but I also plan large projects and develop concepts without even moving out of bed, and sometimes I come up with my best ideas first thing in the morning when my mind is fresh. I like to drive. The idea of a car that drives by itself while you sit there just doesn't appeal to me at all. I love the feeling of gears and steering wheels and brakes and signals and things and buttons to push. I did say I wanted to be a pilot in another life, and a car is that's as far as I've gotten. I grew up in a musical household, and I grew up loving music, and I guess I dreamed of somehow being able to make the wonderful sounds that I heard on recordings that my parents played for me. My dream came true when I got the cello in my hands, and after a year or so I started to sound good. And ever since then, my dream to be a musician, to be a successful musician, is the same as I've had as a child. If I could go back in time, I would probably have enjoyed going to a real university, not a music school, because I find that for the whole rest of my life, I've been making up the difference of not having had a thorough liberal arts education when I was in college. I would rather the public not experience my temper, my weaknesses, my neuroses, if I have them. I don't think the public deserves that, nor are they interested. I prefer not to have any of my lesser qualities get in the way of my music. I've been very lucky in my career. A lot of career in music has to do with timing and opportunity and being in the right place at the right time. I don't consider myself more talented or more extraordinary than many musicians I see around me. But somehow I've managed to pursue avenues in music that have led to places, whereas I could have just as easily pursued avenues that led nowhere. So I've been very fortunate and very determined. Once in a while, if I don't have a big, juicy hamburger, I don't feel like a human being. I have played concerts that I wish I had not played because I didn't play up to anywhere near to my expectations, but I think that's something that any musician would say. Whether it had been better or not that I didn't go on stage, that's for somebody else to decide. Classical music, like all the great art forms that we have, is always going to be with us. The future of classical music performance, if you just look to the younger generations and you hear the level of playing and dedication and passion that's there, you don't have to worry about it for a second. It's in good hands.